Okay guys, I've got two amps here today and I want to compare them for you. I get a lot of questions about these two Gowers. On top up here, I've got a Gower-modded 1959 SLP Marshall with the Rockmonster mod. And on the bottom here, I've got a Gower-modded Marshall JCM 800 2203X modded with the Killer Kali ++ mod. Two very different mods. If you hang around till the end, I'll give you my thoughts on the two mods, but I just kind of want to get into the playing right now. I've also got the back of the amps here put on camera as well, so if I make modifications to the back, you'll be able to see it there. As you guys may know with Dan's amps, he put some features on the back. Any reverb you're hearing is coming from the Earthquaker Devices dispatch maker. I've got a reverb and a little touch of delay on it just to put some, some wetness on the signal. I'm currently playing my Billy Corgan signature Stratocaster loaded with the Billy Corgan pickups. And otherwise, I think everything is ready to rumble. So let's go ahead and get this started. Oh, by the way, I'm using a Friedman 4x12 with the V30s on the bottom and the greenbacks on the top. Just stock. I have the mic pointed towards the V30s, just as a heads up. So let's go ahead and get this kicked off. Give me just a second here and we'll get it started. Okay, everybody, so a couple of thoughts about these two amps really quickly. So, number one, you can hear there's a really big difference between these two amps, right? And I think really, if you said to me, hey, Mike, which one of these is simplest and which one is most complicated? So the Rockmonster is definitely simpler, right? Dan describes this amp as a plug and play, right? You don't need to think a lot about this. Now, I think I pulled a lot of interesting tones out of it, and I'm very lucky that this Rockmonster has a lot of the mods on it, right? It's got the mid switch. It's got the little voicing switch in the back, right? It's got the depth knob in the back. You know, but I will say the Rockmonster gets a kind of bad reputation, I feel like. A lot of people say, oh, it's not tight or it's flubby. I don't know what planet they're living on. I mean, that thing sounded killer to me here in the room. I mean, yeah, it has a powerful low end, kind of like, you know, has like the low end like push of like a diesel. But I mean, it's clear to me. And, you know, with the depth knob on the back and the little voicing switch, it's very easy to dial in a lot of different tones. Now, which one is more complicated? Obviously, the Killer Kali, right? This is a Jose style mod, so you've got a lot going on here, right? You've got your two gain knobs here. They both pull, and they turn into bright switches, which is what you saw me doing during the video. And then down here, you have a feel knob, which kind of controls the tightness. So you saw me screwing around with that a little bit when I was doing the Tool and the Jerry Cantrell riffs and stuff. You know, with the Jerry riffs, I think I had it a little looser to try and get some of that Marshall sort of sag. And then from the, for the Tool stuff, I dialed it back, I think, a little bit to tighten it up a little, right? So it just kind of depends on, you know, how you want to do it. Now, I will say, because this amp has these two switches and they do pull for brights and additional gain, you noticed I had the treble turned down a bit at points, right? And the presence turned down. So kind of be careful of that, right? So I would say this amp's simpler if you just want to set it and forget it. I think the Rockmonster is the way to go. If a knob tweaker's dream is your kind of situation, right? Like if you look at the BE100 Deluxe by Friedman and you go, oh my God, look at all those knobs and switches, I'm so excited. Then I think the Killer Kali is probably for you, right? But I think they cop a lot of similar tones. You know, another thing that I might say, you know, while I'm talking about it is just like the Killer Kali is definitely brighter, right? It's a much brighter amp. And maybe that's why some people have said they think the Rockmonster might be dark or flubby or something, because, you know, there's more Killer Kalis, I think, out there than Rockmonsters. But the Killer Kali is definitely far, far, far brighter than the Rockmonster, right? Now, that's not to say that this is better than this. The Rockmonster, I think, has more of a room-filling sound, right? So if you're looking for big sound, right? If you love, like, John Sykes and Billy Corgan and even Jerry Cantrell stuff, I think, honestly, kind of sounds a little better on this, right? If you just want that big rock sound, then the Rockmonster is your man. If you want something that's a lot more flexible, that can get like lean and mean, but can also sound really huge, then maybe the Killer Kali is more for you, because as you could tell, it's much more versatile. One of the other questions I was asked to answer was, Mike, which one has more gain? The Rockmonster, by far, has way, way, way more gain. I mean, I was using it on, I think, like 3 to 4 and 5, and you heard the amount of gain. I mean, it was ridiculous, right? It was an insane amount of gain. And it goes all the way up to just total nuts on 10, right? I mean, total nuts. Most of the time when I'm playing it, I put it like about between 2 and 4, like the majority of the time. Like I might ride it like right there about 3 or 3.5, or, you know, I might dial it up for a little extra push if I need to, you know. But this amp absolutely has way more gain than the Killer Kali. Now, that's not to say that the Killer Kali is short on gain, right? Ton of gain on the Killer Kali, especially on the back when I pulled the violence knob. You could really hear just the amp fill out, right? And just kind of become this unstoppable wrecking machine, right? And what I really like to do on this amp is, because it's like a tighter and brighter amp, what I like to do is turn on that violence knob, right? And it'll kind of fill out the amp. And then if you notice, I took the feel knob down here and I tightened it up by dialing it back, right? And you can see I moved the bass back a little bit too. So, you know, if tweaking around and, you know, like being able to adjust your sound at a very micro level is your thing, then you might prefer the Killer Kali. If you're like, yo, I just want that old school vibe where like I just plug in, set everything at like 5, 6, or 7 and just rock and roll, then the Rockmonster is going to be where it's at for you. but they are both absolutely killer amps. And like I said, please don't let anyone fool you into thinking that, you know, the Rockmonster is like loose or anything like that. I mean, you heard it, man. It's a killer room-filling amp. The Killer Kali is just like leaner, meaner, and a little bit more versatile. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments which one you think is better and which one you'd prefer or you think is a better fit. Also happy to answer any questions you guys might have in the comments. In case you haven't noticed, I'm really, really responsive in the comments, so I would love to chat with you guys about that. And please mash that subscribe button because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can do live streams. So that's it. This is Mike from Eldorado Guitars signing off. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to sit here, keep rocking out on these amps. Peace.